trouble losing weight, need more energy, want to improve your health? You got a fitness or nutrition question? I probably have an answer for you. How do you get rid of brain fog? Well, that's what I'm going to answer in today's episode of Ask Yuri. Let's do this. So welcome, I'm Yuri Elkaim, and welcome to the Ask Yuri show. Today I'm going to be answering the question from one of our YouTube followers, Kyle Martin, who wants to know, how do I get rid of brain fog and an inflamed gut? Well, that's a great question, and if you are suffering from this as well, then what I'm about to share with you could make a huge difference in the quality of your life, because as you know, brain fog sucks, right? It's one of those things where you just can't focus anymore. You have a tough time paying attention to, you just really feel kind of not yourself. And there could be a number of reasons for this. And I'm not going to stand here and say, okay, well, this is the definitive cause, because there could be pathogenic reasons, right? There could be actual viral or bacterial kind of components. There could be yeast and fungi components, for instance, like Candida overgrowth. There could just be a dietary influence, be it just eating too much sugar. So let's look at those a little bit more carefully. So first, I'm going to just talk about Candida, because it tends to be one of the ones that is pretty commonly associated with brain fog. Candida is an overgrowth of yeast, and it becomes very problematic. It starts in the gut, it can become systemic, and it can lead to all sorts of issues. Brain fog being one of the most common symptoms with those who have a Candida overgrowth. So how do you get rid of Candida? Well, the reality is Candida loves sugar. So if you're eating a lot of sugar, then Candida is like, oh my God, this is like a buffet, it's amazing. So you're basically feeding that yeast, which is not a good thing. So if you want to get rid of the brain fog, you have to get rid of the sugar, because that is not only going to get rid of the sugar itself, which is going to have a lot of health benefits, but it's also going to help you eradicate the Candida, which is really important, not just for brain fog, but for really everything else, because systemic Candida overgrowth can become a very, very problematic thing for your joints, for your overall health, and it's not good. So that's step one. Step two is we want to look at what else can we do to eradicate these little yeasties. And we can look at things like oregano oil, which is a very powerful immune booster, and it's antifungal, antibacterial, anti-everything. It's amazing. It's very, very potent. What I do is I normally put several drops into a capsule, and I'll just take that capsule like a veggie cap, and I'll just take it back with water. And if you're taking oregano oil, you want to be using it for about 2 weeks and then stop. It's not something you want to be using every single day. So use it for 2 weeks, take 2 weeks off, and cycle back in, okay? That's really important. Another thing you may want to consider, if you're not doing it already, is obviously adding more probiotics into your diet. Whether that's fermented foods like sauerkraut or kimchi, or any other kind of fermented vegetables, that's probably the best place to get your probiotics, because they're natural. You're getting a lot of different great quality strains. And you can also use a good quality probiotic supplement, which is obviously going to bring more of the good bacteria in. That's going to help balance out and kind of battle some of those bad bacteria and some of the yeast in your body. So let's just keep it really simple. Eliminate the sugar. Look at some specific Candida killers like oregano oil. You can also use coconut oil, which is a very good source of caprylic acid, which is a really, really powerful but subtle Candida type of fighting agent, and it's got a lot of amazing health benefits. So basically like a tablespoon of coconut oil per day, and then you can also look at adding in more probiotics into your diet. So there you go. So Kyle, I hope that helps you out, and that should take a couple of weeks most likely. But if you're eating a clean diet, lots of good vegetables, getting all sorts of good alkalinity, and as I talk about in pretty much all my stuff, then that's going to really accelerate the process. So you can go from brain fog to feeling really good in the space of a couple days, and that's what I show you how to do in my previous New York Times best-selling book, The All-Day Energy Diet. So you can grab a copy if you like. And if you're watching this video and you've enjoyed this and you have a question, then be sure to ask me somewhere on Facebook or on YouTube. You can, Facebook or Instagram ideally, because that's kind of where I'm a little bit more engaged. And use the hashtag #AskYuri. You can also join me on Periscope. It's a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun on there. Every single day I'm posting videos, and I'm connecting with you guys live in person to answer your questions. So the username on Periscope is Yelkaim, YELKAIM. And I'm on there every single day to connect with you, to help you out, to live your healthiest and fittest life. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you in the next episode.